This is our moment.
I'm your host, Corey Phillips.
Time to be great than today.
OFFTOP Podcast.
It's a play. Bryant for the lead. Yes!
Time! Yo, what's going on, people? Good evening to everyone out there. OFFTOP Podcast. You already know your host, Corey Phillips here. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share the page. We're on everything. Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. OFFTOP Podcast, episode 20. It is episode 20. It is February 17th, 2022. I hope everybody's having a good week coming off Super Bowl week. Of course, this is... Right now, I can't contain my excitement, but we are coming off the Super Bowl. Obviously, you see me in my Rams gear as we're celebrating tonight. Huge celebration as the Rams take home their second championship in franchise history. Their last championship was back in 2000. We're going to get into all the Super Bowl stuff. It was an amazing weekend. UFC was this past Saturday as well. Lots to get into, but this is going to be predominantly Super Bowl talk. And the future for some of these two teams in particular, and what lies ahead as we now turn the page on 2021, going into 2022 season. What's going to be going on, free agency is about a month away. The draft's in April. So, a lot to get into. But, obviously, I'm in a celebratory mood tonight. I mean, this was the perfect weekend this past weekend, I'm going to tell you. The perfect weekend. It was set up to be, it was just, the stars were aligned. This was a team, I'm talking about the Los Angeles Rams, that was destined to win the Super Bowl. This is not a team that is, they'll make the playoffs, get out, bumped out in the wild card by a particular team that I know. That hasn't won a Super Bowl in God knows how long with a big star in the middle. But, I mean, we still relevant. We go to the Super Bowl, we win. I mean, it's... Carson's upset.
Every time. Like, I congratulated you on the win. Can I just...
Carson, I'll give him credit. He did congratulate me on the championship. Now, here, I have one complaint about the Super Bowl, and I will tell you that here momentarily. But we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, obviously. It's AllStar Weekend for the NBA as the final games before the AllStar Weekend took place tonight. We'll talk about that as we head into AllStar Weekend. Got some issues with my Lakers going on. As everybody knows tonight, Anthony Davis will be out. They'll reevaluate his ankle after that gruesome... He landed really awkwardly on Gorbear's foot last night, and he was taken out on a stretcher, kind of, and then he hopped off the stretcher and kind of limped off, and x-rays came back negative. Find out it's an ankle sprain that he needs to be reevaluated in a couple weeks. So we got to talk about that because, I mean, where do the Lakers go from here? There's only 25 games left in the season. You're going to be out Anthony Davis for at least a couple weeks. So what do the Lakers do in the meantime is the big topic of discussion right now, as the Lakers are kind of hanging in there. They're hanging by a thin thread right now to get into the play-in tournament, at least. They're not even an A seed right now. They're 4 games under 500, and it's not looking good at all. And I'm a little concerned, but we're going to get into that. Man, this is basically a season finale. We're going to take a little bit break here for a couple weeks, and then we'll get back in it. By the time we get back, I mean, there's going to be some stuff that's happening. I mean, hopefully baseball will be up and running, hopefully. They had some talks today, made a little bit of progress, but right now they're still in the lockout right now, so hopefully they'll be getting that thing up and running. The Batman comes out by the time we get back. And I am super... This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I know we're only in February, but this movie was supposed to be out already, and they pushed it back. Now it's coming out March 4th. Tickets went on sale. There was a pre-sale of tickets to go see the movie that Wednesday and Thursday. You get free popcorn and free soda at select theaters. Those tickets sold out instantaneously. As soon as it went on sale, those tickets were sold out. I'll be going that weekend, but we'll be talking about that. And then free agency will be up and running probably by the time we get back. But we don't want to talk about that. Here we're going to talk about is Super Bowl Sunday. Now, the thing I talked about last week was the key to the game, and that was the offensive line. Granted, in the first half, Cincinnati was kind of holding their own a little bit on the offensive line. But then the third quarter happened, and it was a wrap after that. Mr. 99, you see the jersey. You see I got it on. Mr. Aaron Donald gets the ring. He should have been the MVP. That's my biggest issue with the Super Bowl is I thought he should have been the MVP. I get it. Cooper Kupp had the game-winning touchdown at the end in the fourth quarter. But Aaron Donald, and what did I say last week? Do you guys remember what I said? You probably don't remember what I said. You're going to pull it up? But I'll let you know. I said last week that it's going to come down to a fourth quarter drive and the Rams defense was going to hold its own, and it was going to get a big sack. Either it was going to be from Aaron Donald or Von Miller. I remember saying that.
You did. I remember that now.
And who came up with the big sack? Aaron Donald. They had... How many sacks was it in the game? 9 total?
Von Miller had 2.
Von Miller had 2. Aaron Donald, I think, had...
Now owns the record for most Super Bowls sacks in Super Bowl history.
Yeah. Okay.
Just saying. He had 2?
All right. Von Miller had 2 sacks. He had a great game as well.
You're welcome.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're welcome?
You're welcome.
What are you talking about?
Denver traded his ass to you. And
well, hey, that's not my
defense over the edge.
Whatever. I'll take it.
You're welcome.
What did Les Snead say? F those draft picks. We'll run back for a Super Bowl. He's like, forget those draft picks. I feel him on that. Decent game by Matt Stafford. He had 283 yards on 26-40 passes, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked twice. There was a one play. Did you see the? Did you guys see the trick play?
Oh yeah.
Where he handed it off, and then they did a lateral to Cooper Kupp, and then he tried to do. They were going for it. It was like, I think it was a third down play.
They wanted a little Philly special.
Yeah, and then Cooper Kupp, I mean, and Matt Stafford was wide open. And I was like, oh, there he is. And he overthrew him by like 4 yards. I was like, what the hell is going on? Big shout out to Cooper Kupp. 8 catches, 92 yards. You know what? The thing that worried me, I would say, when I was watching that game was the moment that Odell went down. Then I got nervous. And then, what do you know? Cincinnati has like 10 unanswered points, and all of a sudden they're in the third. We're in the third quarter, and Cincinnati's up. And I was like, oh no, this cannot be happening again. And I just had flashbacks to 2 years. Was it 3 years ago? 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Patriots and Rams, where it was just like, oh my god, not again. I can't deal with another Super Bowl loss. Because remember, the Rams had lost the last 2 Super Bowl appearances. The one 3 years ago against the Patriots, and then the one against the Patriots again back in 2001. Or 2002, rather.
Brady stole 2 from you guys.
Yeah, Brady took 2 of us from. I was like, and then Matt Stafford took Brady out. That's how we do it. But big congratulations to the Rams. Aaron Donald, what can you say? Now, the one thing that bugged me and what I was hearing, there was rumors going around that Aaron Donald's talking about retiring, and then Sean McVay was talking about retiring. I was like, look, man, if you guys really think that those two are going to retire at their young age, you are smoking something. Okay? Aaron Donald's not retiring. How old is he? 30, 31? He's too young. Sean McVay is the youngest coach to ever win a Super Bowl. He's only 36. They can get another couple Super Bowls out of this. Now, there's some money that's going to have to get worked out, and there's going to be some issues that the Rams are going to have to deal with. Key points coming out of the Super Bowl as we head to next season.
Stafford's 34.
What's that?
Just turned 34, though.
Just turned 34.
Who?
Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. Okay. He's still got another... He can play for another 6-7 years at least.
But he got hit a lot in Detroit.
He's got 5 for sure.
Matt Stafford's got at least 5 years.
He's got 5 for sure.
Take it easy there.
Well, he's what, year 13? Yeah.
This was year 13. Come
Yeah,
on.
he's got 5 years in him. Get 18 years.
Aaron Rodgers is still playing.
Brady played for...
Brady played till he was like 45.
Well, that'll probably never...
Aaron Rodgers is what, 38, 39?
I mean, Brady also broke George Blanda's record.
I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers is 38, 39, and he just won his second in a row MVP trophy.
True.
Did he win the Super Bowl?
But he also did.
Of course, he didn't win the Super Bowl. We know who won the Super Bowl. Kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring. Well,
Kiss it.
But Rodgers also didn't play the first 4 years of his career because he sat behind Brett.
Well, I'm just saying, he's playing at an elite level for his age. And you're talking about Matthew Stafford is 34. Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger. Matthew Stafford has one of the strongest arms in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. He was Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, you tell me, there's only a couple others that have a stronger arm than him. Patrick Mahomes, probably.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, you can make a strong case for him.
That's probably it.
That is basically it. I mean, he might be on the same level with Aaron Rodgers as far as power.
Well,
I mean,
at this point in Rodgers' career, yeah.
I'm just saying. So, Matthew Stafford's got years, and then he's got a young team behind him. Now, Andrew Whitworth is probably going to retire, so that leaves you a gaping hole on the left side. So you're going to have to replace him. And that's going to be an issue because it's not like there's a bunch of high-quality free agent linemen out there. It's going to be probably bottom-of-the-barrel type stuff.
Well,
I mean, there's better linemen that's coming out in the draft than there is in free agency. You see what I'm saying? What do you do about Odell? Does he take the hometown his count? I know he wants to stay.
Pay him.
I mean, you got to pay him. Von Miller is another question mark. What are you going to do with that?
Pay him.
I mean, you can't pay everybody.
You want to run it back, don't you?
Well, I mean, you already got Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. Well, no, I don't know if they have Cooper Kupp.
Cup's already extended.
Okay, so Kupp is extended.
So Cup's locked in. You're good
And Aaron Donald's locked in.
Stafford's got 1 more year on his deal.
They're gonna re-up.
How much they'll redo this year?
They're gonna re-up on him.
Donald's still. They got 3 years. I mean,
yeah, you're locked in.
Jalen Ramsey's got 2 years.
Yeah, so
you got money. Pay them both.
I mean, there is some money out there.
Odell's
the big one.
Well, because it's not like you're gonna go spend money on a left tackle. There isn't one.
Wait, what was his knee injury though?
ACL.
It was a sprain, right?
It was a sprained ACL.
Yeah.
He'll be back by training camp probably.
For sure.
It's just he's a free agent right now. So what do you do with that? And then your running backs. I mean, you might lose Sony Michel.
Draft.
That's fine, but you got Henderson and you have Cam Akers, and Cam Akers hopefully doesn't get hurt before the start of the season. Yeah. That was unfortunate because if we had Cam Akers, we probably would have. Here's the thing, though. The biggest takeaway, though. The Rams are in the NFC, and it is considerably weaker compared to the AFC right now.
Mm-hmm. For the first time in a long time.
The first time in a long time, because think about it, all the old heads are gone. Brady's gone. Drew Brees is gone. And think of the landscape. We don't know what's going on with Kyler Murray. He's already scrubbed his Instagram account with the Arizona Cardinals, and that's another situation that.
What do you think happens to Kyler?
It's just I find it funny that this situation is coming up, or these complaints are coming up, quote unquote, that he's hard to deal with and all that stuff now, instead of being addressed right after the loss to the Rams. Because, I mean, this is what it's all stemming from. Mm-hmm. I think the Cardinals had a little bit higher expectations, and they were feeling good about themselves. They started off 10-0.
Defense was real good.
Mm-hmm. Injuries started to come into play. Kyler Murray got hurt. You lost J.J. Watt. DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. You weren't playing as well. Now,
defense is so weak.
It's not weak. I just think they had some untimely injuries, and they had to make some adjustments, and then he couldn't adjust at the right time.
They don't have a corner.
They need corner help. But here's the thing. Cliff Kingsbury has not had any experience whatsoever in the NFL level. His previous job was at Texas Tech. And then he makes the shift to the NFL, and he's supposed to be this mastermind genius of a coach. And I'm sorry, Cliff Kingsbury can't hold a candle to Sean McVay at this point, in my opinion. Sean McVay has had experience. And he worked his way up the ladder. Even though he was young, he was a quarterback's coach, so he knows the type of system that he's implemented, and he knows what quarterbacks would. That's why the relationship with him and Jared Goff never worked. And after the Super Bowl of 3 years ago, they had to make a change. Hence, this past season, getting Matthew Stafford. You give up a couple draft picks, give up the farm to get. You didn't give up the farm, but you gave quite a bit to bring him in. But you knew you had the confidence and the skill set to match with your system. And you drop in Cooper Kupp. And you think about this team, they did all this without Robert Woods for like the last 6 or 7 games. And Robert Woods was a key component in this offense before he got hurt. I mean, if you mix him up with Odell and Cooper Kupp, this team can win another Super Bowl next year with how weak the NFC is right now. But you look at the NFC landscape, who scares you right now in the NFC?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. What?
Is that it?
So, my camera guy, if you hadn't known at his other shows, he's a diehard Cowboys fan. And sometimes reality blinds his vision.
Blinds my vision.
Yeah. Because you really think the Cowboys are any good compared to this Rams team. They'll be top 3 or 4 in the NFC. It's not saying much when the AFC is just littered with good teams.
The Ravens and look who got the playoffs.
And look who got.
Now this is all
Cincinnati.
This is okay. Granted, yes, Cincinnati was a 4th seed. They won the division, but how many teams have been in a wild card from wild card weekend on?
Think about it this way, and for the AFC, right? The Chargers didn't go to the playoffs, right? That's a playoff caliber team. The Ravens didn't go to the playoffs. That's a playoff caliber team.
Lamar Jackson was hurt.
The Colts didn't go to the playoffs.
Well, that's because Carson Wentz is trash.
But still,
no.
But we're talking about from the top down, right?
Carson Wentz is done in Indianapolis. I'm telling you right now.
Look at his stats compared to other people.
He's not. They're done with him. I'm saying they're done with him.
Good. He should go somewhere he's a Matthew Stafford type thing.
What?
Where you put him behind a good team, and I think he will lead it.
No.
Hot take.
That's.
I disagree 100%. He is not.
I wouldn't want Carson Wentz in Denver, I'll tell you that right now. I'd stick with Teddy Bridgewater.
I mean, I wouldn't want him in Dallas, but still.
It really depends on where Aaron Rodgers goes. Carson, and I said this last week and the week before. What did I say Aaron Rodgers needs to go to? There's 2 teams I said, and they're both in the AFC South, and that was Indianapolis and Tennessee. One of those 2 teams. If he was on Indianapolis...
You think Tennessee's going to get rid of Tannehill, though?
Dude, Tannehill is in the mix along with Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, who's the guy in Indianapolis? Kirk Cousins. They're all in the mix. Baker Mayfield. They're all in the mix to get moved somewhere. It depends on where Aaron Rodgers go, and then the dominoes are going to fall after that. So wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, you're going to see some other... But Deshaun Watson yesterday said there's 2 teams he wants to go to. It's either Minnesota or Tampa. And he would fit nicely in Tampa.
He'd fit so nice.
He would fit so good in Tampa.
Like a glove.
But if he goes to Minnesota, then where's Kirk Cousins going to go? You see what I'm saying? Kirk Cousins can easily go into a better situation in Indianapolis. I would think it would be a minor upgrade to add Kirk Cousins instead of Carson Wentz.
More consistent.
Right.
Kirk Cousins was one of the top guys in stats this last year.
But he's not.
But
he folds under pressure.
And he can't get the team over the hump.
He needs a good defense behind him. Minnesota is a good team.
Not good enough.
It's just not enough. But your bell cow, Dalvin Cook can't stay. He's in and out of the lineup. Where you have consistency with Jonathan Taylor. Now your receivers might suffer because you don't have as good receivers. But you got a stacked defense in Indianapolis. That's why I think Aaron Rodgers should go to Indianapolis. Go ahead and bring Devontae Adams over there. And you have Devontae Adams on the left. You got Michael Pittman on the right. With Thompson Taylor. That. Oh, my goodness.
With a good defense.
Man.
And a good running game.
That's a Super Bowl contender right there. You put him in the mix with... Because right now, the Vegas odds are out for next year's Super Bowl. And guess who's favorite? Kansas City.
Again. Disrespect to the Rams.
Kansas City. It's Kansas City, Buffalo, and LA. With Cincinnati to follow after that. They don't even think the Rams are a top contender. They still think KC's and I see why. The team's the same. Mm-hmm. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes under center, you have a good chance of getting somewhere. I mean,
he's not that good.
What?
He's Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz would have won that Super Bowl, he would be in the same position.
Oh my God.
I would.
That's crazy talk, man. I'm telling you, Patrick Mahomes is in a way better league than Carson Wentz. You cannot put the two in the same sentence. You can try to compare. You can put Patrick Mahomes in the same breath as Josh Allen.
Lamar, I would say.
Lamar Jackson. But then you're putting Carson Wentz in that mix too? I don't
know, because Josh Allen's MVP level talent.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes is MVP level talent.
Yeah, because Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, I think, are right here.
And Carson Wentz wins that stays healthy, wins that Super Bowl. He is that.
But
MVP.
he didn't.
You're gonna blame him for getting hurt?
Okay, you had a chance. You could control your own destiny this past season. All you had to do is beat Jacksonville.
Fair.
True.
Fair.
You couldn't even beat the.
You couldn't even beat Jags. You couldn't beat the Jags. The playoffs are on the line. All you need to do is win. You're not counting on anything else. You just need to do is win. And Carson Wentz folded under pressure again. The same. That's why they booted him out of Philly. They booted out Peterson before they booted out Carson Wentz for some reason.
They try to give Carson another chance.
Retarded. Okay, let's go to Indianapolis because my quarterback's coach was there in Indy. Okay, fine, that makes kind of some sense.
Sorry,
and you do the same trash again. Nick Foles. That's all I gotta say. Nick Foles, man. Big shout out to LA. Hell of a weekend. I wish you guys would have showed up for the parade, though. I mean, I think you spent all your juice Super Bowl night. Instead, the parade was just, for what I saw, was
a little lackluster.
Yeah, and that's not putting it lightly. It's ridiculous. They showed I saw a meme on Facebook. They showed LA's championship win versus Philadelphia's championship win, and I mean the streets were filled with people. I mean, kind of like how it was in Seattle when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I mean, I was there.
So Denver.
There were Skittles everywhere. Skittles all through the streets.
Don't remind me.
And it's funny
didn't have to go there in a Broncos.
I mean, that Super Bowl. I mean, we were celebrating at halftime. Let's just put it that way.
Man, shut up.
From the opening snap, it goes over Peyton Manning's.
Oh
man! You know what though? I'll give credit where credit's due. That Denver team was really good offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, they were lock solid. I mean, and then Champ Bailey.
Poor Champ.
Yeah, it sucks to go out like that.
His career ended that night.
Yeah.
It ended that night.
The Percy Harvin kickoff return in the start of the second half was the icing on the cake.
Stop, bro. I don't want to read
But anyway, big shout out to the Rams.
Why are we talking about the Seahawks? The Rams won the Super Bowl.
I mean, and we were talking about the Seahawks earlier today.
Pick a team, damn it!
Well, I mean, we were talking about everything, and we were talking about the Seahawks and their running back situation, and it's this free agency is going to be the most intriguing because of all the big names that are out there. But Russell Wilson added a third team to his list. A list of trade destinations that he wants. And I'm like, stop. You're not going nowhere. At least for this upcoming season. If you guys run it back and it's the same trash that we just saw this past season, yeah, he'll be gone. And so will Pete Carroll, and they'll just restart it all over again. But as far as the landscape of the NFC, it's literally two teams right now. As of right now, it's the Rams and it's the Packers, with the Cowboys coming up the rear, maybe Arizona. So we'll see what happens. On the other side, on the AFC side, I mean, you got KC, Buffalo, LA Chargers are good. Cincinnati will be back. Baltimore will be back and healthy. What's the status of Indianapolis? I don't really believe in Tennessee.
What does Pittsburgh do?
And what is Pittsburgh going to do? A lot of moving parts, but we already know there's like 4 or 5 contenders. And if you throw Aaron Rodgers in like a Broncos uniform, there's another team that you have to deal with. So it'll be very interesting. For the Bengals, look, man, it's the same issue before the Super Bowl. Your offensive line
Did you see the Carson Palmer tweet?
No.
About to Joe Burrow about the Bengals. There's some fuck shit. This is news that needs to be told to everybody.
From who? From who again?
Carson Palmer, former Bengals quarterback.
Yeah.
So this is what he said, and I'm quoting here off of his Twitter. I think Joe's going to sit back after this game, win or lose, and be like, man, am I going to re-sign with this team? Are they willing to do what it takes to continuously build to get back to the next Super Bowl next year, the year after that, and the year after that? How are they willing to structure the salary cap wise to be able to afford me, but also to afford Jamar Chase when he comes up, or Tyree Higgins, or even redo the offensive line?
That's a good point. Jamar Chase, I mean, he's on a rookie contract, but he's going to be one to get paid. And Higgins as well. And Joe Burrow. But then you have the offensive line, which clearly was the problem on Sunday. I mean, the amount of sacks that they gave up was... I mean, Joe Burrow was limping off the field at one point. Because, I mean, it was just so much pressure. I mean... blitz packages after blitz packages. I mean, and they tried to double up Aaron as much as they could, but once Aaron got into some one-on-one action, or you have Von Miller coming off the edge, and he worked a little inside too, if you saw in some of those plays, especially in the second half when they made their adjustments. I was like, watch. Because they only had 2 sacks, and I was like, wait, this is not what I'm used to watching. I was like, that's all right. They're going to go into halftime, make some adjustments, and watch. You're going to see all different types of formations, and you're going to see them just run heavy with Donald. And it was a couple guys. They were blitzing all night that second half. It was crazy. But the offensive line is the big issue for the Bengals. And then Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, Higgins, Eli Apple gave up some big plays towards the end there too. I mean, some pretty vital.
Got roasted on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just torn a new
one. And then the coverage that they had on Cooper Kupp on that fade route to the corner of the end zone that was the go-ahead touchdown. I mean, I don't know what they were doing as far as coverage goes on that, but there's some questions to be answered. Do I think the Cincinnati Bengals will be back? Yes. They're built. I mean, they're so young and talented. How can you not say they won't be back? But as we know, a la Russell Wilson, when you try to do your little spin move and hold the ball for 4 or 5 seconds, the NFL is going to likely catch up with you. So they're going to have to make some changes. Obviously, the offensive line will be a big focus in the offseason. But, again, they're in the AFC. The AFC is loaded. If they're in the NFC, I'm like, sure. Especially the NFC East. Who knows? But that being said, the other topic I want to get into, AllStar Weekend, as we just had the last of the NBA games for, if you want to call it a first half of the season. They've played almost 60 games. But AllStar Weekend is this weekend from Cleveland. We got the Celebrity All-Star Game tomorrow night. Saturday we got the All-Star Weekend stuff. You have the skills challenge, then you have this 3-point competition. Then you're gonna have the slam dunk competition, and then Sunday is gonna be the actual All-Star Game. Like I said, Lakers got some issues right now. Anthony Davis is gonna be out at least 4 weeks. So here's my thing: do you put Anthony Davis back in there? Now, I did bring this up a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to reiterate it again.
They should have traded him.
I think it's time you start thinking about dealing Anthony Davis. Jeannie Buss goes up to him, "Hey, Anthony," shakes his hand. "Thank you for everything you've done with the organization. You brought us an NBA championship a couple years back. We appreciate it. But we got to move on, and we got to rebuild for the future." Because Anthony Davis, no matter the injuries that are going on right now and everything else, he's still one of the top 5 big men in the league when healthy. And you can get value in return for Anthony Davis. Now, what suitors that you can find, I don't know. I think Chicago would be my place I would go, because you can get something in return, a la Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, or DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan almost came to LA anyway. But that being said, Lakers going to have to deal. They're just going to have to deal with it. Russell Westbrook, you need to step your game up, my friend. You're really starting to piss me off a little bit here.
It's brutal.
You've been playing well as of late these last couple of games, but overall this season you've been playing like hot trash. And I will not accept failure again from this team. LeBron, I can't even bash LeBron.
He's balling.
He's just playing too good.
Feels like Cleveland.
I'm like, man, what is going? Yeah, the amount of talent and the amount of money. We got to get younger. I said it during free agency. I was like, Buddy Hield is out there for you guys to get. He's young. He can play defense. He can shoot the perimeter. He's really good from 3-point. And he's a lockdown defender. That's what you need. Excuse me. LeBron James plays defense when he needs to. Russell Westbrook is a defensive liability when he's on the floor. Carmelo Anthony can play defense, but he can never stay healthy. Malik Monk is a good defensive player. They got some good pieces, but Anthony Davis is your anchor. And without Anthony Davis is only going to take you as far as he can. But, either somebody's got to step up or this season's a wash. And hopefully this break during the All-Star Weekend, and they'll be back in a week. Hopefully this will help and rest up some guys and refocus. But Russell Westbrook is the next man up. He's going to have to step his game up because they need scoring.
So bad.
And the other news I wanted to talk about is the Knicks coughing up that 28-point lead last night. And this has been a disaster season for the Knicks. But that was a collapse of epic proportions. The Knicks have lost games with at least a 25-point lead 3 times. They're the only team to do it in the last 25 years. That's not good. This is a playoff team a year ago. A top 5 playoff team. Now the Knicks are sitting at 25-34 on the outside looking into the playoffs, 4.5 games out of the play-in games, of the play-in tournament. This is insane. I don't know what's going on with the Knicks, but it's just really bad. Right now, the Miami Heat have the best record in the East. The Phoenix Suns have the best record in the NBA. Even though, and they've increased their lead. They have a 6.5 game lead over Golden State. Even though Chris Paul got ejected tonight. A couple technical fouls and stuff like that. But as we look at this, as we hit the All-Star break, there's a couple of teams that stand out to me. Number one, it's Philly. Big trade for James Harden earlier this week.
Good move.
It's a good move for Philly, but I still think the Brooklyn Nets won the trade because of compensation that they got. Now, and because eventually you're gonna get KD back, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Kyrie can only play the next 8 games of the season because he doesn't want to get the vaccine or anything like that. So now he's restricted on. He can only play the last 8 games, and I think there's 25 games left of the season. Here, Kyrie is one of the best point guards in the league, but he cannot be trusted because he sits out because of family issues or mental issues, or if it's COVID. It's one thing after another for Kyrie. He cannot be trusted. I think Kyrie, and a friend of mine said this, he should only get one-year contracts from here on in for the rest of his career. If you want to pay him max dollars, go ahead, but it should only be for 1 year because you don't know what this guy is going to do. He's a different mindset than everybody else. But I think they want to trade because Ben Simmons is good and he's young and he's super talented. But in the immediate future, that's a huge win for the Philadelphia 76ers getting James Harden back there. You just added a prolific scorer. Now, he's a liability defensively. That's why him and Ben Simmons are different. But as far as offensively, oh yeah, James Harden's got Ben Simmons beat. Hands down. Combo with that with Joel Embiid. I mean, Philly should be one of the favorites to win the East. Between Philly and Milwaukee. I mean, Chicago's doing great. I just don't think they have the size to match up with either Philly or Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee should still be a favorite, and they've been playing well as of late. Boston's been on fire. They've won like 10 of their last 11 games. But the consensus right now is like everybody's thinking this is Golden State's year, which pisses me off. I'm just like, and people ask me why I have a beef with Klay Thompson. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Klay Thompson at all. Yeah, you shake your head. You're like, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't like Klay Thompson. Okay.
Of all people?
Yeah, I don't like him.
What? Explain yourself.
I don't have to explain shit. I'm just telling you, I don't like Klay Thompson. But All-Star Weekend should be good. It'll be live from Cleveland. It's going to be LeBron Central up in that piece. All-Star Weekend's not really the same since no Kobe.
True.
It hasn't been the same.
It's just not.
Yeah. I mean, if I watch the All-Star game, it's going to be mostly because of LeBron James.
Which at this point, there's no reason to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the new rules and stuff that they have for the game, which is kind of cool. But, I mean, I'm only watching for LeBron James as we enter the twilight of his career. Because it's narrowing down pretty soon. Like I said, I've been telling a few people this, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James retires in the next couple of years. He's just like, the hell with it. You know what I mean? I'm done. I mean, I think part of the reason why he keeps going, I think he wants to match Jordan.
Well, that's why he's still playing.
And B, I think he wants to play with his son at least for one season before he retires. But his son is still 2 years away because he's only a junior. So, we'll see what happens. But this NBA season has been very intriguing. Obviously, the big story is Golden State, Klay Thompson coming back. How well Phoenix has played coming off the NBA Finals last year. Philly, the drama in Brooklyn. The Lakers, a disappointment right now. I don't even know what else to say on the Lakers, man. Very disappointment, and I just hope they come out guns blazing after the All-Star break, because we're going to need it. We're going to need every single one we can if we want to make the playoffs this year. And then finally, some of my favorite Super Bowl commercials, because I watched the Super Bowl again when I got back home. I watched the whole thing. So some of these offensive pass interference calls or the phantom calls that some people say the Rams got away with. What about the call where Jalen Ramsey's helmet just almost got turned inside out and no offensive pass interference was called? But anyway, some of my favorite commercials that I saw, well, not even commercials, the movie trailers that I saw were awesome. The Lord of the Rings show, that trailer was badass. Got me excited. The one thing I had a question about with this was, is it the money they're spending, because they're spending almost $50 million an episode on this show for Amazon Prime. Is this going to be movie quality type of shit? And based on the trailer that I watched, yeah, it's going to be really good. So I'm super excited about that. The Jurassic World trailer, that was awesome. The Doctor Strange trailer, that was awesome. I found some disappointing news today because this will be the final season of Stranger Things, one of my favorite shows on Netflix. They announced the last and final season, the release date of that. So we're going to be talking a lot about Stranger Things when we come back. But some of the cool movie trailers that I saw, those were awesome. Big shout out to Spider-Man No Way Home, as it has surpassed Avatar for the third highest grossing domestic box office movie of all time. In a pandemic era, people were like, screw that. We're going to go see this movie again and again and again. Well, I only watched it twice, but there's some people that have gone 3 times and saw this movie. But big shout out to Spider-Man. It was an excellent movie. And that's a big accomplishment, seeing that we're in a pandemic and this movie came out. And it still surpassed one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Avatar, everybody saw that. Now, obviously, it's not going to pass it globally, worldwide, because Avatar is just like a global phenomenon. But domestically, in the United States, Spider-Man killed it. But yeah, those are some of my biggest takeaways from that. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, it's been one hell of a season. The hardest part about the Super Bowl, kiss the ring. One more time, kiss the ring. The hardest part about the Super Bowl is that
it's over.
It's over. And there's no football for a few months. Now, as we close episode 20 and look back upon this whole season, because we've basically been with you since start of football season.
Yeah. Since August.
I want to send a shout out to everybody who's watched the show, who's followed the show, who shared the show. Any type of love we've gotten from you guys, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a good season so far, and more to come as we try to upgrade and advance and to talk about sports and movies and music and everything that I like to do, I love. I'm a passionate guy about some of this stuff. I can't even get into my cooking tips or anything like that. But
Season 2.
Fantasy football, we don't talk about that. I mean, we talked about everything under the sun. And it's been really good, and hopefully we're going to expand on this and do more stuff and bring more coverage as we roll into, we're going to be rolling into NBA playoffs. The NCAA tournament's getting ready to start. Got to do a show before the March 5th UFC fight, because that's Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, and that's a huge fight that's coming up. I'm taking the day off of work to watch that fight. Even though I don't really need to, I'm just using it as an excuse. But thank you guys for tuning in. When we come back, what do we got? We'll have baseball, hopefully. We're going to be rolling into the NBA playoffs. So like I said, we're going to be rolling into NCAA tournament time. And then we'll be rolling right into free agency at NFL and the draft. So a lot coming up. And then the movie time as we creep closer to the summer. Some big name movies coming out. Like I said, the Batman will be out. You got Jurassic World coming out in June. I'm super excited about that. There's a movie coming out in May. It's a big movie coming out in May as well. But we'll talk about all that. You guys can like, subscribe, share, comment. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can follow the OFFTOP Podcast on Instagram as well.
Some lives going on during the off season.
What's that?
Some lives going on during the off season.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas as well. At least a couple times before. I'll be in Vegas in April. That is going to be National Championship Week, and that's also WrestleMania Week. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of goodies on that. Yeah, I'll be in Vegas going live. Hopefully, if baseball gets their act together, Mariners season, baseball time. I love going to baseball games, so I'll be going live there. Hockey season will be over, so we'll be done with that. But there's a lot of good stuff I got planned on that's coming up. So please follow the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you guys have any ideas on how we can improve the show. I'm always down for feedback and criticism. Love you guys. Go Rams. Kiss the ring. 2-time champs. Say it with me, Carson. 2-time champs. Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald. We're running it back. We're coming to defend the title next year. We're coming back. Thank you guys. I am so happy I got my championship. I've waited since 2000 for this. Okay? You have no idea the heartache and the pain of being
as long as I've been alive.
A Rams fan, and we've lost the last 2 Super Bowls. We're so close, and then we get this one. We're not irrelevant like some teams. We get to the Super Bowl in the last 25, 30 years. Okay?
It's
a good feeling.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
You can try it sometime.
Yeah. Try winning. It would be great.
Try to have as many rings as I do.
Oh, that's fine. We're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Don't you remember your last Super Bowl?
No, he wasn't
Before
born
we
yet.
go off the air, do you remember your last Super Bowl?
He wasn't born yet.
I wasn't born.
No.
I wasn't even born yet, bro.
No. I was born. I was alive. I remember it. But anyways, you guys, I guess the one question I have for you guys who are watching out there, what is your Super Bowl prediction?
Ooh.
We're gonna post it up. I'll post it on
2022 NFL season.
Yes, I already told you the Vegas odds. KC is a 13-1 favorite, followed by Buffalo, the Rams, Cincinnati Bengals. Those are your top 4 teams. Who do you think has the best odds of winning the Super Bowl? Because I might go to Vegas and play some bets. So I need some friendly advice. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Rams. But if you have any advice or you have any suggestions, let me know. Please let me know how we can improve the show. Please let me know if there's any questions that you have. Comment, like, subscribe. And let me know who you think is going to the Super Bowl next year. All right, until next time, peace and love. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Well done, Mr. Phillips.
Chiefs going to the Super Bowl next year.
Hey, clap it up for Corey. Season 1 is in the books. 20 episodes. 20 fucking episodes, my guy. Fuck yeah. Save that bitch now. Carson, I'm airdropping it to you before you can even tell me.
Oh, I dropped the queue. That'll be
So the pictures, how are you doing that? Are you adding it into it, or are you just like plugging it in?
It's in the background.
Oh, it's in the background.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool. I think next season we should start going live on a couple of these episodes. I think it's time.
Alright, now I can turn off the recording.